All right, are we on? Let's see.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. All right. Hey, Brittany, how are you?
Good. How's it
Good.
going?
Really good.
Good.
So today I'm going to be interviewing Brittany. She lives in Miami, and she's been in doTERRA, a wellness advocate, and a customer using doTERRA products for almost 5 years. So definitely been in for at least 4 years. And I've been able to get to know her a little bit, and it's been so fun over the last 4 years to just take this journey with her and learn from her and see how she's grown and just how the products have helped her in her own journey. And I thought it would be super cool for us to do this interview together where we can just ask these questions to kind of introduce each other to you guys, to our audience, to the people that we care so much about and are trying to help. We're trying to help you guys learn more about doTERRA and these products. So I just thought it would be fun to introduce her myself to you guys. All right, you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. We'll see how much time we have. The first question, do you want to introduce yourself before I start? Do you want to say anything?
I mean, I feel like you did a pretty good job covering the basic. I feel like after you've asked questions, people will get a better feel for who I am, better than any type of intro I could give.
Okay, perfect. Good.
Yeah.
All right, so my first question to you, Brittany, is how did you first learn about the company doTERRA?
Okay, so way back, almost 5 years now, my brother-in-law was actually the person who introduced me to doTERRA. At the time when he was introducing it to me, I didn't realize what it was. I didn't realize it was doTERRA brand essential oils. I didn't even know really what it meant, what essential oils meant. But it wasn't in a class. Like most people, it wasn't on a webinar or anything. It was just kind of an accident. So that's how.
Okay. What were your first health concerns that caused you to want to personally try employing essential oils as a wellness product for you?
Okay. So to do all that, I'm going to have to tell you a story. So, okay. So, like almost 5 years ago, my husband's family purchased a new house in South Florida where I live. And it was, I think it might have been around like the beginning of summertime. So it was super hot. The house hadn't been lived in a while. I think a little over a year. And so, when people haven't turned the ACs on in Florida or anywhere where it's humid, it gets kind of like rank. Like you smell whatever it is that's growing in there, probably mold, mildew, who knows. And so every time I would go over there to help like clean up or like help him move in, I would immediately start getting like itchy, watery eyes. I'd start coughing. My nose would get all stuffed up. And that would last for weeks after I would visit.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, that was terrible. But I would go back and the same thing would happen. And it eventually got to the point where I just didn't want to go over there anymore. I just stopped going. I was like, I love you guys. I want to see you. But anytime I am going to be meeting with you guys, it has to be somewhere else because I get so sick. And at the time I was teaching PE to kids from 2 years old all the way to 8th grade. And so I had to use my voice. I had to be able to speak, and it would, the like allergies that were happening in my face would cause me to lose my voice. And it was terrible because then I would have to like speak sign language to the kids to try to get them to listen and, give them instructions. So that was a mess. So I just eventually stopped going over there, even though they live like less than 10 minutes away from our house. And I think that went on for like, I want to say like 2 or 3 months. I just wouldn't go over there. And then my brother-in-law, who was stationed in Bahrain with the Navy, was coming home, and they were having a welcome home party. He was getting out of the Navy, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. Like, I'll suck it up. So I had like my cough drops, and I just like went over there reluctantly. And of course, same thing. itchy, watery eyes, nose stuffed up, coughing. And I was just like sitting in the corner, like, like breathing with my mouth open, looking super attractive, I'm sure. And with my cough drops and just like not feeling good. And my brother-in-law saw me. He's like, hey, oh my goodness, what's wrong? Are you sick? And I told him what had been happening. And my husband asked, oh, do you want me to get you some water with lemon or something? I was like, okay, sure. And I guess that might have like triggered something in my brother-in-law's head. And he was like, oh, and he like got all excited. He's like, hold on a second. And
Oh my
like,
goodness.
okay. So he ran upstairs to his bags, looked through, and came down with these 3 dark liquid vials. And then he told me to open my mouth. And I was like, no. Like, he was just showing us pictures of himself eating scorpions and like doing all these crazy things in Bahrain. I was like, I don't know what that is, like some kind of crazy like medicine man potion or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's all natural. It's pure essential oil. It's going to help you, help me. It's better than organic. And he's just like spitting off all these facts that he had learned about these products. And I was like, okay, fine. And he put 1 drop of lemon, 1 drop of lavender, and 1 drop of peppermint essential oil under my tongue, told me to chase it with some water. And like immediately it felt like a relief bomb like went off in my head. My airways, I don't know if you deal with allergies, if you ever have, but it feels like there's like a balloon that's been inflated like in your airways. And so, yeah, it was so bad. It's like you want to try to blow your nose to get relief, but it's not from that. It's because you're so inflamed. So as soon as I took that, I just like felt like my face was deflating. My eyes weren't itchy anymore. I wasn't coughing, and I could like take a full breath. And I was like, wow.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what was that? And so then he was like, I told you. But then he told me again, like in a more chill way, we got to talking about it, and he put me in touch with his friend, and now my friend Rochelle, who he met out when he was in Hawaii, stationed there with the Navy, who introduced him to those oils when he was having a bad allergic reaction to shellfish. And he was able to use those oils. I think he used like 3 drops of each. And he was able to not have to go to the hospital, which is great. So yeah, so that was incredible.
That's amazing. I want to tell you a quick I have a testimony about the same kind of situation.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the reasons why we had started using oils too, is because my husband is allergic to mold. And when we lived in Hawaii, our house, it just rained so much there. And so there was a lot of mold. Like even if we kept cleaning and throwing things away and all that stuff, it just like we couldn't keep up with it. And so that was definitely one of the reasons why we jumped on board with DoTerra. But even recently at the, it's called the RCB at the military base here, the Coast Guard base, there's so much mold and mildew in that building. Like right when you walk in, you can smell it. And he has to stay there either every 4th night or like every 8th night, you know, depending on his duty schedule. And I remember visiting him a few times when we first got here, and I walked in with him and I was just like super concerned, like, honey, how are you even going to function? Like, because I know how he responds like you do with the allergies, and, you know, he's having to go on flights and like serve our country and do all this stuff, like a lot of mental, you know. And I believe allergies don't just affect you physically, but also affect you psychologically too, because when you're not feeling good, like how can you focus on what you're supposed to be doing, you know? So I just kept telling him, like, you need to let me send you with a diffuser, because I think that the On Guard, like if you diffuse the On Guard in the room, it can at least give you like a little bit of a barrier. And so it took me a couple times of suggesting that to him, and then finally he started it. And when we talk, you know, in the morning, like whenever he's done with work and he's coming home, he's a completely different person than he was before. Like he's not sick. He's like, yeah, I'm fine, you know, which is like, I think a miracle. It's such a blessing for our family, you know, for him to be able to function again. So that's awesome. Okay, so it says, how did they help you is the next question, but we kind of talked about that. Do you want to go into that anymore? Or?
I mean, that was my first experience ever with essential oils, and I was sold like that was
Right
so
away.
amazing. Yep.
Mhm.
And I've had, a million more experiences afterwards. Like, even to this day, almost 5 years later, I continue to have new experiences with essential oils, and it's like so mind-blowingly incredible.
Yeah, I agree with that because like life is always changing, your environment could be changing, you're aging, like there's just different trials and things that we're constantly going through, right? And
Hmm.
growing and developing. Okay, so here's the last question for today. What are your current health goals? Or what does your daily routine look like? So you can kind of answer those together if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like they go together. Okay, so let's see. My current health goals are just to continue to take steps towards living a more natural life, a healthier life. And I feel like, you know, if you look at a wellness pyramid, your health is tied into what you put into your body. It's like directly related. Like
Yeah.
you really do become what you eat, because your cells are constantly being replaced by what you give it. So I'm always looking for ways to kind of up level my health, and doTerra's products are, a huge key player in that. So the fact that they are always coming out with new products and new things, I feel like I'm just always able to incorporate something new and like keep my body guessing and like always ready for whatever I throw at it or the environment throws at it. So currently I'm really focusing on drinking more water and
Okay.
making sure that I put essential oils in my water to help detox my body, help, because when you do that, you're giving your liver a break. It's like, oh, thank you so much for helping me. So I love doing that, drinking citrus oils especially. And then recently I've started taking copaiba soft gels regularly, and I feel like that's really helped me just be more relaxed overall. Um, and just be able to think with a clear mind, because I'm not like, thinking about all the different things that could go wrong or could go right or what's going on. I'm just like focused and in the moment and getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so I guess a daily routine would include, waking up, brushing my teeth with On Guard toothpaste, using On Guard mouthwash, which are incredible. I used to be one of those people who would do everything right and go to the dentist and still have cavities and be like, what?
Yeah.
And they would tell me, well, maybe you have a calcium deficiency, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's genetics, but I'd be so upset because I knew people who would not floss and wouldn't even brush their teeth regularly and wouldn't have cavities. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
so ever since using the On Guard toothpaste, I haven't gotten any cavities, any new ones. So I
That's
was like,
amazing.
yeah, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So I definitely always start my day and finish my day with that. And then I'll get up, drink my water with citrus oil, which is a new thing for me because usually I would just eat food.
Okay.
And I know that my body probably doesn't want that because it's like it just woke up, it's not trying to like do all that. So I'll start by drinking water. I try to drink at least half of this before doing anything else. And then sometimes I'll take a Terrazyme depending on how late in the evening I ate dinner the night before. If I ate it pretty late, then I'll take a Terrazyme, and that'll help my body like get rid of anything and help with the digestive process. Those enzymes are like lifesavers for me. So yeah, so then I'll eat my breakfast. I'll take my Lifelong Vitality pack, my supplements. Then just carry on with my day. Anytime I have to do work, I'll use my new favorite, which is Thinker. I actually keep it right by my computer. It's basically like in tune, so it helps me focus and get stuff done. What else do? I use peppermint beadlets all the time. because that just keeps my stomach chill, and peppermint helps me focus also. It helps with headaches. It helps keep me cool since it's so hot.
Yeah.
It's so hot here, and I have a big window right here, so it like radiates heat. And then my new thing, taking copaiba soft gels, I'll do that in the morning as well with my food. And then throughout the day, I just use oils as needed. And before I work out, I'll take Mito 2 Max and have energy, and end my day with some more supplements and go to bed.
So how many Mito 2 Max do you take before you work out? And then how many copaiba soft gels are you taking daily?
Oh, okay. So before I work out, I only need one. I've tested out, taking the max dosage, and then I kind of like went down from there to see how much I actually needed. And I think because I'm like a relatively healthy person and I'm also small, I don't need as much of certain things. So like for the supplements, I only take half of the dosage. And because I feel like the full dose would be too much for me, unless, I was taking it as a prenatal, then I would use the full dose, because you're trying to make another human.
Right.
Your body needs that. And then for the copaiba soft gels, I just take one a day so far.
Okay.
If I needed more, like if I was super anxious for some reason, I would take more, because it says, you could take it as needed. And that's the cool thing with these products. It's not like you're going to overdose on them. Your body knows what to do with it because it's bioavailable. It's organic. It's natural for us, and then whatever it doesn't need, it'll just get rid of.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
I love that. I love that you talked about copaiba, because so what you're saying makes sense, because it helps support us neurologically, our respiratory system, our digestive system, and our nervous system. And so that's why you're experiencing that. Yeah. Before I study, sometimes, like if I'm like not really in the place to be able to study and I'm just trying to get myself to like focus and settle down and stuff, I'll use DDR Prime or copaiba to help me. Really helps a lot. So I have one more question for you before we finish. What does your nighttime routine look like? Like, are you guys diffusing each night, or is there anything that you're doing at nighttime?
So for the most part, I will diffuse, breathe with something. I love the smell of Douglas fir. It's one of my favorite smells. So I'll usually do that combination. Another combination that I really like is Douglas fir, wild orange, and bergamot. Like those three together smell so good. And the reason why I do breathe is so I can breathe throughout the whole night, not wake up with like the stuffiness in your face, I guess. Like, I don't know how to describe that. But like when you wake up and you're kind of like, I try to avoid that at all costs. So I'll use breathe.
Totally.
And it helps so much. And you feel way more relaxed when you wake up because your body's not having to work as hard to get oxygen in to your body.
So you're sleeping better then too when you do that.
Sure.
So good. Sure. Awesome. Do you have anything else you want to share before we go?
Something else that has also really helped me kind of go to bed is having a good like skincare routine before I go to bed. Just washing my face with like the DoTerra skincare is phenomenal. I personally use Virage system, and I also use Immortelle and Yarrow Palm.
Okay.
And putting that on, I have like a little jade roller, and I feel like that helps me relax a lot when I'm using those. And I know that they're also anti-inflammatory oils, so I feel like it's just helping me like relax. It's like getting all the gunk off and then putting all this good like moisturizing amazingness on and just rolling it all. And by that time I'm like, okay, I'm ready for bed.
Yeah.
And then I feel like when I wake up, I feel a lot better because my skin, it was fully nourished throughout the night. It's not like dry or anything. It's like fresh and glowing still.
So neat. I love that. I think those products have essential oils in them. So like you're reaping the benefits again. And because you were an allergy sufferer, like I'm sure that those oils are also helping that part of you too, you know?
Yeah,
Not,
I'm sure.
that's great. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing. This was fun.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Anytime.
Yeah, we'll do another one soon. I have some more questions for you. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Great. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.